Trainees, welcome to week 2. It is day 10 of the Ring Fit Kickstart 2.0 and today is a leg session, which is fantastic. But first, I just want to address a couple of concerns that we had from the first week, okay? First off, you can actually tailor your reps and your rest times for all of this, okay? Apart from very specific exercise sessions where we're doing supersets, hint for the muscle and weight loss ones, what you're doing today, and circuits and stuff like that. Apart from that, if you want to take 2 minutes between exercises, you feel free. If you want to take 10 seconds between exercises, you feel free. You do what works for your body, and the same with the reps. You can increase and decrease where you need. So if you're finding it too easy, increase your reps, decrease your rest time. If you're finding it too hard, increase your rest time, decrease your reps, something like that, okay? And you can repeat each playlist multiple times if you need to, or you can do like some levels in adventure mode or something like that to help with that. Secondly, I don't have a tabled or written version of each exercise for each set for each day. I'm very sorry about that. I've just got the scripts. To be honest, those are the main two concerns, so that's what we're doing. Anyway, we're going for our leg sessions, and as I said, for weight loss and for muscle trainees, you are doing supersets today, which is going to be really awesome. So there'll be the instructions at the start of each of your playlists, so you can skip to them if you want. And beginners, we will be bringing stuff like that in, but more towards the end of week 3 and week 4, because it's more about getting you in a routine and getting used to exercise, okay? So question of the day, what is your favorite fruit? Just out of curiosity, what's your favourite fruit? I'm personally a really big fan of peaches, and I like raspberries as well. They're very nice. But yeah, can't go wrong with banana either. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and yeah, get yourself warmed up, get your water bottle, get your sweat towels, all of that stuff, and let's get into some legs. So, supersets for my weight loss trainees. We're performing the moves in pairs. First 2 with as little time between as possible, then rest for 60 to 90 seconds before the next pair, and so on. This playlist can be repeated 2 to 3 times if necessary. Start with the perfect combo of hip lift and squat. Great for activating the glutes in general. It works all the major leg muscles in a good simple movement pattern that will get you ready for the other moves in this playlist. The next pair is the aerobic side step, followed by the tougher wide squat. Feet planted wide, this works the adductors on the inner thigh effectively, as well as the quads and glutes. We then go for hip lift again and squat goals minigame. There are multiple different heights and amounts of squat needed here, making it a great mid-session quad blast. Then we're going for mountain climbers and knee lift. 2 aerobic moves that work very similar mechanically, but one is horizontal, one is vertical. Go for broke here, don't worry about your score. For mountain climbers, drive your knees up to the chest straight, don't let them fly out to the side. That actually does apply for knee lift as well. Finish with the treadmill minigame on novice and overhead squat. Holding the ring overhead will test your core, making this a great finishing set. Well done. If you do want to change treadmill to advanced, and if you want to change squat goal to advanced, feel free. Muscle trainees, we're supersetting today in awesome fashion. We're performing the moves in pairs, first 2 with as little time between as possible, then rest for 60 to 90 seconds before the next pair, and so on. This playlist can be repeated 2 to 3 to 4 times if necessary. Start with hip lift and squat to warm up and get comfy with those basic movement patterns ahead of knee lift, combo, and wide squat. The former is very dynamic, involves a small jump, whilst wide squat helps warm the adductors up for later. We then have hip lift and overhead squat, very similar to earlier, but the overhead ring hold creates a new dynamic to the exercise and makes it into even more of a full body movement. The penultimate set is mountain climbers and thigh press. Mountain climbers is a difficult but excellent move, just ignore the poor movement detection. Drive those knees straight up to the chest and take at whatever pace you need. Finally, jump into treadmill on advanced and overhead squat. Treadmill is one final aerobic threshold test before overhead squat returns to test the core after all that work. Amazing! Trainees, welcome to week 2. Remember, you can adjust your rest periods to suit how you're feeling. We're starting with a jog through sport and highway, which will include a few extra lower body resistance movements to navigate. Drop to the floor for hip lift, which uses the glutes and core to work effectively. It's great for your posture. Next, onto your feet for squat. Remember to breathe out whilst returning to standing to make this move feel a bit easier. Then we're going to perform our first mini game of the week, Thigh Rider. This is a platformer style game controlled entirely with your legs in the thigh press position. Raise your heart rate with side step before squat goals. You're aiming to collect all the coins here, so do your best and pay attention to how far you drop down and how high you need to jump. Get to the floor for a proper thigh press and hold the ring if you need to ensure it doesn't pop away from you. Next is overhead squat, a progression of the squat that requires core control to keep the ring overhead. Concentrate well and keep breathing during the whole thing. The leg side of the overhead squat is exactly the same as the wide squat. Side step again before finishing with ring raise combo, which finishes us out with a strong pulsing movement. Awesome work, guys. It's always good to start your week with a good leg day using those big muscles and all of that energy that you recovered yesterday from your rest. So for our fit fact of the day, we're going to talk about the ankle, and specifically the ankle joint and the movements that it can do. So it is a hinged synovial joint. So it means that it moves like this, okay? Moves like this. So you've got a hinge and it can move in a specific direction, and because it's a synovial joint, it means it's got synovial fluid which needs to warm up, which is why you warm up your ankles and stuff with some dynamic movements, because it helps lubricate the joint and means that it glides a lot easier, makes less friction, and makes it easier to move your feet. Drawing circles with your ankle is a really fun, effective warm-up, by the way. Just a little add in there. But yeah, so essentially you've got two movements with your ankle. So let's say this is your ankle and the actual joint is right here where my watch is, so you can point it up, and that is called dorsiflexion, and you can point your foot down, and that is called plantarflexion. Now the easy way to remember this is because if you point your foot up, it's like the dorsal fin of a dolphin or a shark or something, so it's dorsiflexion, and then you plant your feet, you push them down, plant your feet, plantarflexion, okay? That's a nice easy way to remember that. And it's really important. It uses the tibialis anterior, it uses your soleus, it uses your gastrocnemius as well, which is essentially your calves, your lower legs, which is really cool. So yeah, definitely a fun little bit of education there for you. Well, anyway, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed day 10 and that you're ready for a great arm session tomorrow. Any questions, throw them to me in the comments. As always, like, share, subscribe for more Ring Fit content incoming. Sorry, I'm so used to saying that, it just comes naturally. When really, let's be real, this is going to be stuff every day this month, which is really cool. Thank you so much to my patrons like Rain and John Hartman for supporting me through Patreon. Really appreciate it. It's absolutely fantastic. If you want some extra content, there's more incoming soon. Thank you so much for your time again. I've been Master Trainer Peter. I'm going to see you tomorrow.